Hey everybody, welcome back to Mixing Music Analog and mixingmusicanalog.com, and here on my YouTube channel. And in today's video, we're gonna go behind the scenes and I'm gonna show you my video recording setup and how I actually record videos for our Mixing Music Analog channel, as well as some of the content from my mixing membership website, mixingmadeeasy.net. Links will be in the description box below if you want to check that out. I've recently done some upgrading to our video system here. Got a whole big thing going on here. Some of you've asked me how I record these videos, and I'm going to show you how we actually make some of this content so we could turn out content that kind of looks something like this. Okay guys, welcome back. So in this section, we're going to talk about our tom tracks and our drum bus compressor. We're going to try to keep building on these drums. So let's head on over to the rack and we'll patch that in. So let's go. Voila, here we are at the rack again. So up here we have the Aphex 204. I'll get the GoPro out in a second. And let me show you that on the patch bay. So here we are. So as this patch bay starts to fill up and as we get moving, it's going to be a lot more spaghetti wires. So this is the good time to see this. So this patch bay right here, our third patch bay number 3, these are all of the 32 channels of sends and returns on the console. We have No, we look pretty good. So pretty cool, right? So we have 5 different camera angles that are going on here, and I'm gonna walk you through with my trusty iPhone and my selfie stick here today and show you all the cameras, what cameras I use, what lenses I use, how do I capture all the audio in the video. So that's what we're gonna do in today's video. So before we get started, like, share, subscribe. Make sure you go out to mixingmusicanalog.com if you want to learn more about my mixing services and how you can have your music mixed on an SSL console. And also consider supporting the channel by hitting the thanks button beneath this video. So now let's get started. So before I get up and walk around the room here and show you all the different camera setups and video editing and all of that stuff, let's talk about the audio and how I capture the audio, both from the SSL and from my voiceover. So for my voiceover, I am using the DJI wireless microphone system. It's a cool little wireless pack that has a receiver and 2 transmitters, so you can actually have 2 people in the room. You have a little transmitter here that sits on your chest with a magnet, or you could plug a lav microphone into it. That's how I capture all the audio from me talking during the content. So I could be moving around, going over to the rack, patching in gear, do everything, and everything is captured with that. And I'll show you where we all capture that. We capture that in one of our video switching systems, the audio, as well as on the transmitter itself. It records a backup of my audio. So if something happens to the original audio, I always have a backup right here, and I just dump it into the computer via a USB-C cable, and it records broadcast quality WAV files, which is really cool. So that's how I capture the voiceover. For the SSL, and everything that's going on here when we're mixing, I use a pair of outputs. We have multiple outputs on this desk. I have a dedicated set of outputs that actually run out of the back of the SSL over to our capture system, which I'll show you guys in a few minutes. And that allows me to capture the sound. So when you're listening to what's going on in the video, you're hearing it after it's all been processed by the SSL and all the hardware. And as it's going back into the DAW on the print track, you're hearing that audio. And again, it's all high quality, pristine audio, sounds really, really great. So that's how I capture the audio off the SSL, just with a dedicated set of outputs. I have a separate level control so I can control the volume of the overall mix going to our audio capture device back there. So that's completely independent from what I'm hearing in the room. And that works out really, really well. So that's how we capture the audio. So now let me get up here with my iPhone. Let's walk around the room and let me show you how I capture the video and walk you through all the different video equipment that I have here in this studio. Okay, so here we are walking around with the iPhone. Again, I'll apologize for the crappy lighting right up front here. So the lighting might not be the most ideal, but I wanted to keep everything kind of set up just the way it is and use the iPhone to walk around here. So first and foremost, here is the first angle that you guys see. Here's the chair in front of the console. And if we spin around here, you'll see our first camera here with a monitor. So right here, this is the main cam that you guys see me on most of the time. This is the Sony a6600 with a Sigma 16mm prime lens, which is really great. This lens is awesome for low light, and the Sony a6600 just takes wonderful, wonderful video. What I love about this particular camera, and this particular lens especially, is because it goes down to a 1.4 aperture, you can really film in very dim lighting, which is the way I like to keep the studio. I don't need to have a ton of lighting, and the video always looks great. So that's the Sony a6600, which is the main camera 1. I have a field monitor here, so when I'm sitting in front of the console, I can see myself in frame. That's just a cheap monitor I picked up on Amazon. So that's camera 1. Camera 2, which is the shot that you see over the top of the SSL, it's right up here. Again, this is another Sony a6600 camera, and this lens is a Tamron. I think this is a 11 to 17 millimeter lens. This is, I think, set at about 12 millimeters, which is what I needed in order to get the entire console in frame, because the console is kind of wide. As you see, as I back up here, you'll see that the console is kind of wide. In order to get that overhead shot so you can see the entire console, we needed something other than the 16 millimeter Sigma, which is what I originally tried. So I went with the Tamron 11 millimeter, really, really great. A6600 again, so I have 2 of the same cameras, and that works out great. It just kind of stays set up there all the time, and you can see the shot that we're getting from the little LCD screen. So that's camera 2. Camera 3 is actually behind the SSL here, but we kind of spin around the room here. Camera 3 is actually over here on a tripod, and this is actually the static camera that films the racks over here. So when I wheel up in front of the racks and talk to you about what I'm doing on the racks, that's this camera here. This is the new Sony ZV-10, I believe it's called. Again, once again, this is the Sigma Sigma 16 millimeter lens, just like the one on the first camera. Again, takes wonderful, wonderful video, and it kind of just points right there. Pretty straightforward. So that's camera 3, okay? Camera 4 is actually a second camera that we use on the rack, and this is actually just a GoPro. This little GoPro here. This is the GoPro, what is this one? This is the Hero 7 Black, I believe. Yep, this is a GoPro. And what I use the GoPro for is when I'm wheeling, when I come up to the rack in the chair, I can actually wheel up and I can take this off this little stand here. This is a little stand that I can clip it, kind of like what I'm doing here with the iPhone, like a little selfie stick. And I can come over here and I can show you exactly what's going on with the gear, with the meters, with the patch bay, all of that stuff. So that works out really, really well. And it's just connected with a couple of HDMI cables and a power cable that runs across the floor. And I'll show you where all that hooks up. And that allows me to get up close and personal with the gear, and you guys can see it. So again, this is the GoPro. I believe it's the 7 Black. Yeah, 7 Black is what it is. Takes great, great video. Perfect. And it has a super wide angle, so I could get up nice and close to the gear, kind of like this, and you can see everything perfectly. So that's the 4th camera. And then the 5th camera is actually the DAW. So the 5th camera is actually the screen. Studio One, which is what I use primarily as my DAW. HDMI, right out of my Mac Mini. Splits off, one goes to the computer, one goes out to our video switching unit, which I'll show you, but this allows us to capture the DAW and put it up on the screen when we need to. So that's the 5th camera. So we have, oh, there we go. And I've got a screensaver happening there. There we go. So all these cameras 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the DAW5, we have cables that are running all along back behind the console, all behind the racking, a whole bunch of cables. And that is coming back here to a little setup that I have, our little video live stream / video capture station here. And again, sorry for the poor lighting. So this is all based around the Blackmagic ATEM Extreme ISO, say that 3 times fast, where this is a HDMI switcher, and this allows us to have up to 8 HDMI sources that we can all switch live one at a time. We are only using 5 right now. We have the ability to use 8, and all the cameras come into here, and all gets recorded. The audio, as we talked about, we have 2 audio inputs. We have one for my mic, one for my voiceover. The SSL comes into mic 2, and then we have a headphone as well. That is all being controlled by a control software on my 2018 MacBook Pro, and then we have a monitor here. So we have a multiple screen monitor so you can see all the different cameras here. All right, camera 1, 2, 3, 4, the GoPro, and then 5. And then we can switch it live. So here's the program feed. So right now, camera 1 is what's being recorded. There's camera 2, camera 3, camera 4, camera 5. So while I'm doing these videos by myself, if I'm alone here and there's nobody here working with me, all I basically do is just turn record on. Everything gets captured here. And what's great about this unit here, the Blackmagic, is that not only does it allow you to switch the cameras, but it also records all the cameras independently. So I have all 4 or 5 video feeds that I can take into my video editing software and edit all the video together, which is what I do. It captures all the video as well as the audio for both the SSL and my voiceover, and I put it all into my video editing program, and that's how I edit everything together. If I was doing live streaming, because you can live stream right from this unit as well. Let's say our buddy Dave is here from New York and he's here doing a live stream with me. And let's say he's mixing on a live stream. I could be sitting back here and I could be switching the cameras live. As he's kind of working, I could be switching and showing the different camera angles, or he could be doing that with me as well. And then all of that is being recorded as well simultaneously, so we can just upload it straight to YouTube. So that is our video capturing system, or video and audio. It wouldn't be able to be done without this. That's for sure. This makes everything comes into this, and then that what works. Once I have all of that, and all, by the way, that all records to an SSD drive here. So I have an SSD drive recording all of that footage, and then I take all that footage and I bring it over to my video editing software, which is on my in-the-box rig, which has been recently upgraded. So this is all based around, let me kind of show you a little back here. So here is my video editing station. Got 3 monitors here. It's where I do all of my in-the-box kind of stuff. I just recently, a few weeks ago, upgraded to the new Mac Studio. This is the base model with just an upgraded hard drive. This thing is absolutely killer for video. It's overkill for audio, but for video editing, for rendering and all of that stuff, there's nothing better. This thing is a time saver like you would not believe as far as video editing goes, because I have to take all that video, 5 camera angles worth, pop it all in here and edit. And you can see right now I'm editing actually as we speak here. So I switched recently from Final Cut Pro to DaVinci Resolve, which I really, really love DaVinci Resolve. As far as doing video editing, it's so much more intuitive, I think, than Final Cut Pro. DaVinci Resolve has a full DAW built in for the audio called Fairlight, which is really nice, and it's just an easier workflow for me, and it's actually faster than Final Cut Pro, if you can believe that. So I have things spread out on 2 screens. I have my program screen here, a full screen for my timeline, and then if I want, I can put things on a 3rd screen as well. So I have three screens here. The new Mac Studio display, the 27-inch display, and then I have 2 4K monitors here. This is by a company called Innocent. These things are fantastic. They get a lot of great reviews on YouTube. I bought these on Amazon for like $400 each, and they're worth every penny. I gotta be honest, those screens, I have 2 of them, one here and one here. Those screens are probably 80% of what the quality of that screen is. I mean, it is probably even closer, probably 90%. If you're looking for a really good 4K monitor that's affordable, that maybe you don't want to spend $1,500 on the Apple, that's a great monitor. Great monitor. Love these monitors. And then I'm using, for sound, I'm using the IK Multimedia iLouds. That's where I do all my monitoring for my sound. And then my main interface for my video editing and live streaming when I'm over here is the Rodecaster Pro 2. This is like 3 audio interfaces in one. This is where I'm doing all of my in-the-box live streaming and home recording made easy and mixingmadeeasy.net. And then all the video editing and everything I do is through the Rodecaster Pro. So that is the video setup. That's the video editing rig. And this kind of, as we swing around, this is how we make our videos. So we have 5 camera angles, as I said. We may even actually add a 6 camera angle. I'm actually thinking about getting another one that's gonna kind of be right here where I'm standing right now, where we have another shot in the room that we can cut to, just to have something to give it a little more of an interesting look. So that may be coming soon. But anyway, that's how we make our videos here at Mixing Music Analog. And it's been a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but I'm learning a whole lot, and hopefully you guys are enjoying some of the content, and we're getting better and better at it all the time. So once again, I will swing around here and show you the studio with the SSL, the hardware, and as we swing around, we have the other camera. And then once again, our video editing, capture, live streaming station. And then once again, we'll swing around in the video editing station. So, thank you so much for watching. Leave comments below, let me know what you think, and if you have any suggestions for me and how I could even get better at making these videos, that would be great. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and again, consider supporting the channel by hitting the thanks button. And until the next video, I've been Dave with Mixing Music Analog and mixingmusicanalog.com. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.